Okay, welcome to Life Mastery Unleashed. I'm Ricky Khamis, your host, and today we have on Austin Khamis and Drake Khamis. Welcome to the show, you guys.
Well, thank you. What's up?
This is your first time on Life Mastery Unleashed. You guys have been listening to this and obviously following it for your entire lives and well-being. But we're going to jump right into this, and then each of you will answer. Okay, so. What's the biggest lesson you learned from working with me, and how's that different from what I taught you growing up? Start with you, Austin.
Well, working with you for 11 years, I've really come to notice that it's all fire. And when you get in the day, it's go time. You know, there's no play time. There's a time and a place for that, but it's time to grind and time to make lives change. So we're here doing, we're building a mission here of a legacy for our family. And that's at the focal point of what we're doing every day. At home, when I was living at home, it was, obviously different from the office. But at home, it's spending time with your family and, being on purpose with your time, which kind of goes into what I was talking about with being at work. When you're at work, you're at work. When you're with your family, you're with your family. When you're at the movies with your family, you're there and you're present. So I would say that's one of the biggest things that I've taken away from working with you, both at the office and being at home with you.
Excellent. What about you, Drake?
So I would say one of the biggest things I've come to understand is seeing you at home and waking up early for years, putting in long hours, always on the phone. When we're on vacation, you're present, but you're still keeping those connections solid, like when time allows you. But when I've started getting into the industry, it was interesting to see how actually knowledgeable you are within the mechanics of finance. Before, because it was just wake up early, work out, long hours, but then seeing how much other things go into your day. And now that I'm learning mortgages, I learn what I don't know. So there's so many things that I don't know that you can help me on. That is like, dang, that's crazy, because of your 20 years of experience that I never really got to see at home or before I got into the industry. But that's what I would say.
That's interesting. That's a pretty interesting perspective, because you mentioned being on vacation or at games and stuff like that, and you both can attest to this, right? That I don't miss games. I don't miss games. I don't miss meets. I don't miss
anything.
Half the time I didn't even miss practices, right? But could I turn my phone off? No, I couldn't. Right? But I was there. And once I got into coaching and I was being coached at a really high level, I learned the discipline of, hey, you're there for an hour, shut it down for an hour, but change your voicemail. Hey, I'm out of pocket for the next hour, blah, blah, blah. And once I started doing that, I was definitely way more present. My goal with all of you guys growing up was that we were able to, experience a lot of different things in a lot of different countries and a lot of different geographies. And you can't do that if you're broke. So my mantra was like, and it's always been, and it will be till the day I die, that my goal is to be able to do whatever I want, whenever I want, with whoever I want, however I want. And that's been my goal. Well, I want to do a lot of things. So you need a lot of money to do that stuff, right? And as you can see, especially Drake, which is cool because, Austin's been in this with me kind of around for the last 10 years. The last 3 or 4 years, he's really kind of been ingrained. You've been a couple of months, but you grew up with it. So now you are literally stepping behind stage, and now you get to see how the play is actually made, which is a totally different perspective. So that's really cool. Yeah. Okay. We'll start with you, Drake. How do you balance being my son and being part of the business? When we disagree, how do you handle that line between family and leadership?
I would say that I'm more goal oriented or goal focused, and we have aligned goals, which is crucial, is making sure we're all wanting to go to the same place. I'm very good at subordinating. I understand where I fall in the hierarchy, which I think is crucial to understand. It's crucial to know your strengths versus your weaknesses, how we as a group can counteract each other's weaknesses and strengths. But I feel like in the office, we're focused on going places, right? So in the office, you're more of a leader, which at home it's a completely it's weird to say, but it is different from home to work. At home we're fun, we're laughing. Here it's like we're still fun and laughing, but we're trying to go somewhere. So I feel like understanding where you want to be allows you to compartmentalize the leader versus the father, which is what I would say.
Okay, interesting. All right, Austin.
My answer would kind of coincide with Drake's. So at this point, like you know, obviously you're my dad, which we both have these goals of astronomically changing the world for our lives and for our future, you know, sons and daughters that are going to be coming. So we're marching in the same pace and in the same way every day, which, you know, it's just different when you're at home and you're relaxing and we're talking about what's actually going on in life other than work stuff. That's, you know, father-son mode. But when we're here, we're working together to create an amazing life and change other people's lives. And that's at the forefront of, you know, my thought process. I'm at the point now where I understand what I can really do to help empower you to make this business blow up. So I'm just extremely focused on those things once I'm, you know, in the office, and even out of the office too, with like meeting people in real life and everything. I'm always looking for an opportunity to connect you with somebody, but we have a mission and we know what that mission is. So we're all marching in that same direction at work, and at home it's, you know, completely different.
I'm going to give you both a follow-up question, because this is, I think it's good for you to both recognize and realize where you're at and the opportunity that you are actually given. I'm a tough guy. I expect excellence in everything. Like, you guys were raised that way. I can distinctly remember a time, and this is funny, when Drake, he tripped going around first base or something, and then he started to cry, and I screamed, because I was coaching the team, and I screamed from the dugout, "Get up, there's no crying in baseball." And all these moms were like, ooh. And then Mike Mummin, do you remember this, Drake? Mike Mummin
Somewhat.
ran out to the field and picked him up, and he came back and he's like, "You're such a dick." Well, I do that on purpose, because there's a time to cry. Like there's a time to, you know, cry in your Wheaties. I don't know what those times are, but there are those times. And when we want to do that, it's usually because we're embarrassed by something that just happened. Like, we usually just did something that we're like really like, oh God, I need sympathy over anything else. And what is the default to get sympathy? It's, oh, poor me, oh, poor me. Well, that's the same thing in this business, right? And, you know, Austin's gotten the brunt of it because he was the first and he's brand new and didn't know, you know, shit from Shinola. And was thrown into this man world, adult world at a really young age. And when you mess something up in this business, it costs you not thousands or 10,000s. It could potentially be hundreds of thousands of dollars over the life of a career. And when you're young, you just don't realize that. You think just everything bounces back and it's all good. Well, when you lost a really good referral partner over some stupid mistake, you know, that elicits a different response from me. So I know how I would be if I were the son working for the dad and then the dad ripped my ass over something. And I'm wondering how you have, or how you're going to navigate that in the future, like in your future. How have you been able to know, okay, this is a dad ass chew, not a boss ass chew, right? Because there is a difference, right? Boss ass chew is, hey, here's this form, here's what you did, here's what I expect you to do. If you do it again, you're fired. That's a boss ass chew, right? It's very corporate, very diplomatic, very, hey, black and white. Dad ass chew is rip your ass because this is all going to be yours one day. This is all, you guys are going to run with this for the rest of your lives and run it. And we've got to get it. And this is what's in my head, right? Like, okay, I've got 10 years to get these guys to where they are set for the rest of their lives. Like, I've got a good 10 years and every relationship counts. So we can't skip a beat on anything, right? So we'll start with you, Austin, because you probably have a lot of commentary on that.
I mean, it's really just mitigating the ass chews to where you just aren't messing up. You know, with those ass
That's
chews,
impossible, though.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, no, there's gonna be stuff that happens, you know, and I mean, really, it's just like picking out the like, okay, so like, for instance, you wouldn't be getting your ass chewed if you didn't do something that like elicited that response from, whether it's, you know, dad or boss or whoever. Like, if you mess something up and it's detrimental to the business, then you have to not focus on the ass chew itself, but like pick out why you're getting that ass chew, if that makes sense. So I would say it's really trying to just put the emotion aside of like, oh, I'm getting getting reamed right now, and just focus on what it was that was messed up or was missed, or, you know, what document wasn't there, whatever it may be. And remembering that for going forward, because that same situation will happen again. So I'd say it's really just getting rid of emotion and trying to just pick out what it is that you messed up and get better, you know?
Good. Okay. Drake? You're good.
Okay.
Go ahead.
So I have a couple things. One would be, now that I'm here, me and Austin, we have a lot of time to brainstorm and really just push each other. So really our focus is taking what you say and 10xing it to where A, you're surprised, and B, we get to chew your ass. If we're setting shit up, you know, there's not enough time in the day, but with two of us, we're like, you know what I mean? So that's one of our goals, is to just have so much stuff to do that it's like, damn, slow down, guys. Like, we got to hire somebody else, or you guys got to take on more responsibility, or whatever. And I would say B is going really along the lines of what Austin said, is taking out the substance of what you're trying to get across and taking extreme ownership over it. Because at the end of the day, if each individual is focused on being the best version of themselves, then we can all come together as like a stronger unit, rather than I'm doing this because dad told me to or boss told me to. It's I'm doing this because this will push the needle for me and ultimately the team. So I feel like those two things are, it's really what's it called? Not depersonalization, but depersonalization, focusing on the actual criticism that's being explained by you, and then taking that fire, 10xing it to where it doesn't happen again, and you have to keep up with us.
I love it. That's great. Okay. That was good. Very diplomatic answers, which is fun because I actually know the real answers, which is hilarious to me. But you know, I didn't raise little girls. You know, I raised men, and you know, you will be tough whether you like it or not. You're gonna be tough, and it's because of the grind that you were able to experience literally your entire life, which is awesome. I love that. Okay, we'll start with you on this, Drake. What daily habits or disciplines have you picked up that help you operate at a high level in your 20s?
I've always really, like, going back to the previous answer, is 10xing things, where as a kid I see you waking up early and putting your everything into whatever you're doing, and I've picked up that. But I've also I've had less life experience, so at a young age, I mean, I was working out every day, which I think is crucial to keep your mindset and your mood straight. And I love reading. I picked that up too, as like a subset or as an add-on to working out. I believe reading and gaining knowledge is like working out your brain, which is funny to say, but so I like to work out my brain, debates, talking through ideas, developing positions on certain whatever's going on in the news or the market, and then working out too. So I think that keeps that sharp and it keeps you having clarity. So those are two habits that I've had every single day: work out every day, read every day. I like to run as well, which goes along with working out, but I like running because it allows you to have stamina. So I'm trying to build up my stamina because I know when rates drop, there's going to be long days. So I need to have the energy to stay focused, which I think helps with focus. So I would say those are probably three things: running, lifting, working out. And then we do jujitsu a couple of times a week too, which is just another skill, which is fun. You're with your family, and I feel like you're learning a valuable skill. So I like to learn valuable skills, and
that also gives you a false sense of security because I let you choke me out every now and then too, right?
I guess you can say that if you want.
Okay, we're gonna mute you. All right, Austin, what daily habits or disciplines have you picked up that help you operate at a high level in your 20s?
Well, one that I really love that I've been doing every day is the MBS Highway every morning, specifically with work. That helps me operate and have, up-to-date information on what is going on in the market so I can have those conversations with people. So that's everyday occurrence now. Another thing, and with just like what I've been doing in my life as of, a couple months ago, it's been quite some time now, but I used to not really like eat that much, or I would I still have a Monster here and there, and I drink coffee and all that, but I used to not have like a dialed diet of like breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And now I do, which like I'm finding my brain is working at a better level now that I'm consistently staying on track of, my diet. So that's really helping a lot, helping me operate at a high level. And then same thing, gym. I don't go every single day. Some days, work and stuff gets in the way, but grinding on stuff. So I'll go at least 3 to 5 times a week. That helps me stay in a mental place where, I feel good about myself and I feel good about my body. So I'd say those really the 3 things is diet, gym, and MBS Highway every day.
Okay, good. All right, this last one is for you, Austin. We've got 4 more minutes left, so take 2 minutes and then we'll end it. What does just win the day mean to you personally, and how do you apply that when shit gets hard?
Can you say that one more time? You cut out on the first half.
What does just win the day mean to you personally, and how do you apply that when shit gets hard?
Just win the day. Really, to me, it means checking off everything on the grind to greatness and then doing extra on top of that. So I'd say it means getting all the critical tasks done that you need to in that specific day, because we have different days mean different things. But getting those things done and then going above that and getting, that extra 5 calls in, or sending out those extra 5 cards, whatever the case may be, you could find something. But really just dialing in everything that you need to do that day, get that done, and then do extra on top of that. And that is a win for me.
Excellent. Drake.
So I would say just win the day to me means building habits that you can iterate over time, which means change or add on to something that's you're able to do day in and day out consistently. Like, you don't want to add too much to your plate right away, because that lasts a week or a month and then you're done. So the whole idea is to build habits and implement time blocking in order to keep it going for the rest of your life. Because who cares if you do something for a week or a month? It's doing it for years upon years. And if you win one day, every single day, you don't know really how far you're going to be in a month, a year, 20 years. So I feel like winning each individual day and really not putting any pressure on the future. Like, you have a goal for the future, which gives you action steps for each day leading up to that. But I feel like setting a goal, forgetting about it, and then implementing the strategies that will push the needle to get you to that goal is really what winning the day is.
Hell yeah. Okay, thanks for coming on, guys. This was a blast. For those of you that are struggling, right now, and, we all go through these storms in life that we have to deal with. It's, be like the buffalo, charge the storm, get through it quicker, because, there's no sense standing there still, petrified into, grassroots into the ground and letting the lightning just strike at you all day. You got to keep moving. And, just win the day is something that I've lived by for 50 years. And, I put it into a book that you can get on Amazon. Just win the day. Just go on Amazon, search Just Win the Day, and change your life. I promise you, if you deploy the tactics that are in that book, your life will change. And if you focus on your 5 F's, faith, family, fitness, finance, and future, you cannot lose. This is Life Mastery Unleashed. And as always, remember, outgrind, outwork,